Hello! So in my last video I took you inside my guide, my language guide, for free to show you what a grade 6 writing to inform answer looked like. Incidentally, if you've got an opinion about which of these two designs you prefer, please just pop a comment in the comments below. So these were the problems of a grade 6 answer. First, it was too short. I'm going to show you one that's over 400 words long. Too many paragraphs started the same way, so this will have lots of different paragraph starts. The sentences will all start in a different way. There are going to be loads of rhetorical devices, which you should remember now are the mad father's crotch techniques. They're not called that, of course, they're called rhetorical devices. It's going to show off with lots of punctuation apart from commas, and the main way it's going to do that is with a few showcase sentences, really big kick-ass 40, 50, 60, I think there's even a 70-word sentence in there just to show off. It's going to have an original beginning and an original ending, and hopefully you will see that the paragraphs will be crafted for impact. So those are things which the grade 6 answer didn't do. So tactically, you're probably going to want to watch this video twice, once with my overexcited voice over the top explaining what the techniques are, but then the second time just so that you can read every sentence and get a feel for what the whole thing feels like as a whole. So here's the beginning. Every actor wants to be Tom Cruise, and every actress longs to be Jennifer Lawrence. So why settle for Danny Dyer and Letitia Dean? So here we've got a contrasting pair, a rhetorical question, and lots of alliteration, which makes that a really powerful opening. And the reader, of course, is thinking, well, what's this got to do with Mr. Salles' revision guide? So it's also going to be quite compelling. You wouldn't and you shouldn't. It's exactly the same thing with revision guides. Yes, they come with pretty pictures and jokes, and everything is chunk-sized so that it fits a single page. Hopefully you can pick out all the emotive language in there, the repetition, the triplets, things organised into threes. Students often miss this, so they come with pretty pictures 1 and jokes 2, and everything is chunk-sized 3. So organising your sentences into 3 parts like that is a sophisticated way to get a triplet, and it creates an enemy, those kinds of guides which are just full of jokes and everything's on 1 page. I've got the CGP guides in mind there. Mine is completely different to that. Let's get to the next paragraph. But do they push you, pull you and propel you to get a grade 8 or 9? One short sentence, but it still has 3 skills in there. The alliteration of the P's, the contrasts of pushing and pulling, and the contrast to what was in the sentence before, the other guides, and that triplet again, where your sentence is organised into 3 parts: push you, pull you, and propel you. So it's a really good trick to get into, that one, because it gives your writing a rhythm as well that carries the reader on to whatever desired goal you have in mind. Let's get to the next paragraph. You spotted that's a rhetorical question, but do you know the other 14 rhetorical devices? So here, direct address, lots of you. The contrasting pair, you know it's a rhetorical question, but have you got the other 14? And obviously it's a rhetorical question. Mr. Salles won't just list them. By the time you finish this guide, you will know them by heart. Fact. So it's a contrasting pair. It's not just a list. You're going to know them by heart. Direct address to you again. And it's an opinion masquerading as a fact. I don't know that you will have learned all 15 techniques by the time you've read the guide, but I'm telling you will, because I want you to buy it. Mr. Salles believes that all students can ace the English language exam, that every student can learn from beyond grade 9 answers that are properly explained, that every student can remember if they are shown how. So hopefully you can pick out the emotive language there that's making you think, yes, I can do it. The triplet again, a long sentence that's in 3 parts this time, separated by the semicolons. This is one of those show-off sentences I was telling you about. and the repetition, that every, and to drum home that message that anyone can get better from this guide, even if they're not intending to get grades 8 and 9. Ambition is his recurring theme. He's desperate for you to do well and shows you exactly how to excel. His is the Elon Musk of revision guides. So emotive language again. Fact, the theme is ambition all the way through. And metaphor, which Mr. Salles can't spell. There you go. Metaphor, the idea that the guide is the Elon Musk. If you don't know about Elon Musk, Google him. He's an amazing man. Anyway, back to the guide. Surprising insights will allow you to view the exam in a new way, so that you move from the simple, sit back and enjoy the show kind of guide to a 3D extravaganza where you learn what's in the examiner's head, learn how to dazzle by showing off your own skills, and learn how to give the examiner no choice but to throw marks at your answers. So here we have another show-off sentence, 62 words long. Emotive language, which I hope you've spotted all the way through. The triplet, the whole big sentence organised in 3 parts. And the over-exaggeration, which you should remember is called hyperbole, not hyperbole. Lots of over-exaggeration in there. Yes, I believe it's brilliant, but I have gone over the top, haven't I? Mr. Salles' YouTube channel has saved many students from bog-standard teaching or from annoying classes who refuse to let you learn at pace. This guide allows you to teach yourself, and you can dip into it at any level. So again, it's got emotive language in it. I don't mean to insult teachers. Bog standard just means average. Well, someone's got to be average, haven't they? And I'd be nuts if I was saying that my guide was average, because why would I bother publishing it if it was? So no insult intended there, but it's part of the persuasive writing. I'm creating an enemy, those annoying classes you might be in where students just won't let you learn. I know my kids were taught in classes like that, and I have taught a few like that where I've looked at some poor innocent face and thought, my God, how much quicker could we learn if so-and-so wasn't in the class? You know what I'm talking about. And then the contrasting pair. You might have to go at everyone else's pace in school, but the guide allows you to teach yourself and you can go at your own pace, much more rewarding. Those in a hurry will sprint through the just tell me what I need to do sections, surely the most useful 10 pages of any guide on the market, and those who are desperate to see what the new grades 8 and 9 look like will relish the more than a dozen 100% answers. Those that want to become expert writers and readers will marvel at the range of writers and text to practice on. So here we've got another massive show-off sentence, 74 words long, lots of emotive language. Hopefully you spotted the opinion and the hyperbole in there. Although I should say there really are more than a dozen 100% answers. That's not an exaggeration. And those 10 pages are super useful. Because you can revise the whole of exam just with 10 pages. So let's imagine you buy this the night before, then those 10 pages will do the business. And if you are someone who loves reading and would love to be a writer, then this guide will also train you how. That's quite interesting, isn't it? So that's an inventive technique, because the guide is really supposed to be about passing the exam. But here I am claiming that it takes you far beyond the exam and you'll actually become a better writer. You've got emotive language there, repetition again, and that sentence organised into a triplet. Consequently, this guide has everything and more than you can imagine. Well, that's hyperbole straight away, isn't it? You can't even find all this on YouTube. Well, that's true, but it's definitely an opinion that I think is true, because it is so intense and detailed that the videos would take so long to make. Well, you're getting an idea of that. This was just a couple of pages of the guide, and I'm still on 9.5 minutes with a couple of paragraphs left to go. Let's get them over with. Instead, everything is at your fingertips right here. What would take 20 hours of watching is condensed into 3 hours of reading. Unless you have won the lottery, This will be the most valuable 3 hours you've ever spent. So I've got a contrasting pair there. I've got the metaphor, everything is at your fingertips, and the hyperbole, the over-exaggeration. And finally, Mr. Salles had dared to write a guide which will take you beyond the old A and A-star grades. He urges you not just to dream of these grades, but to take action, take up your pen, and take charge. Dare to work hard and deserve 100%. So again, emotive language, the triplet, the direct address. Well, hopefully you will forgive me the shameless sales pitch. I'm going to get rid of the grade 6 and now give it grade 9, that I've done that part for you. And let's look at what the criteria says and compare that to what you've just read. The register is convincing and compelling. Hopefully you'll see that every sentence, every single one, because it had 3 techniques in, was always desperate to get you to buy the guide. Yeah, that's what's trying to make it compelling. And the measure of that isn't whether you go out and buy the damn thing, it's whether you can see the writer is trying to do his or her job. And counting the number of rhetorical devices in the question is a brilliant way, in the sentence rather, is a brilliant way to do that. Was it assuredly matched the purpose? Well, of course it was, because each sentence had that purpose in mind. Each sentence was desperate to show you why the guide was brilliant. Did it have an extensive and ambitious vocabulary? Of course it did. Go back and check out the use of words. Did it have sustained crafting of linguistic devices? Well, yes, it did, because we've said each sentence, as you've seen, had at least 3 of those devices in it. 3 in each sentence. How easy is that for you to remember going into the exam? Mr. Salles tells me I just need 3 devices in each sentence. How will I do that? Well, do you remember what my most popular way of doing that was? Pausing for dramatic effect. Yes, it was writing each sentence as a triplet. So each time I do that, I'm cramming it with persuasive techniques, linguistic devices. How did I organise it? Did I have varied and inventive structural features? Well, hopefully you couldn't predict what each paragraph was going to say. I showed you the beginning that was almost as though it wasn't for a guide at all. And so yes, it did. Was it compelling? Again, that's not a judgment call where you have to say, was I compelled? What you have to say is, was it designed to make an average reader compelled? And the same with convincing. Not did it convince me, but was it trying to convince? Did it have lots of evidence in there as complex ideas? I think you'll find that it did. And a lot of the evidence you might disagree with because it's opinion or it's hyperbole, but it doesn't matter. They are complex ideas. And then finally, the paragraphs were all seamlessly linked. You couldn't have chopped them up and presented them in any other order. Well, I'm exhausted now. I need to go and get a drink of water. But here's a bonus bit of the video for you. I'm going to give it to you in word form here so that you can see it paragraphs rather than sentence by sentence, and you can calmly read it through without me wittering over it. So those are the first 3 paragraphs. Whoops, and there's the next. And that's it. That's the whole thing. All of it together. Let's just scroll down. 483 words done in 40 minutes. Confidently giving you the grade 9 that you want. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck with your exam. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more.